Okay. Alrighty then. You see a chair to my right, but turns out it's just me today, my friends. This is Barely Scraping By. Welcome back. Who do I have on today's episode? No one. It's me. Today I want to get back into the swing of things and show you what I've been up to. I've kind of taken a little bit of a breather. I've gone underwater for a second. And I haven't done a solo episode in quite some time, but Barely Scraping By is changing. We're doing a full new season, and I'm excited for the guests that are going to be on, and I'm really proud to be a part of it again. But what does this podcast do? It gives a platform. I don't like what I'm saying. I'm not enjoying what I'm saying.
We can take it back.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Let's workshop it. What don't you like about it?
I just don't feel like it's like not on the money.
Are you redoing it or are you continuing forward?
I'm continuing forward, but it's a whole new vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the main difference is between last vibe and this vibe?
Messy, all over the place. Grab someone from my life and bring them on the podcast. No direct format or what exactly I was like. The point of them being on is for. Like, I knew I like to talk to people, but I didn't really have, like, the reason why I was doing it in the first place.
So this one is?
Intentionality. Like, bringing people on with intention. And should I have someone talking to me?
No, I think you're good.
I think I'm nervous.
Take two, my people. This is take two. Welcome back to Barely Scraping By. You see a seat to my right. Turns out there's no one here today but me. It's exciting times for Barely Scraping By. We're doing a new season with a new vision, and I wanted to take a second to talk to you before I brought in a whole slew of guests, and I wanted to connect with the people who have been with me since day one. And when I first started this podcast, it was a little baby, and I got a free mic from my roommate at the time, Brian. He passed it off to me, and I stuck it on the middle of my dining room table that also was free, that we got off the side of the road. And I just had people come into my apartment and talk. I had no questions. I had nothing prepared. I just had them sit down and tell me about their stories. People who were in the industry, people who weren't in the industry, just people I loved and admired. And I feel like I wanted to give them a voice to speak. And that was my podcast at the time. And I loved it. Like, I truly loved it. And through college, I had so many individuals on. Like, I had all my roommates on at the time. I had my friends on. Like, I had people in the industry on. And I think my whole point was just to show different voices throughout my life. But when I first started the podcast, I think I was so unsure because I didn't get into the industry of film until I was a junior. Like, I grew up on a cattle ranch. My dad's a fifth generation cattle rancher. I grew up in a small town of Monterey. And so when I came to UCLA, I felt that imposter syndrome. And I felt that we all feel anywhere we go through life. And I felt that, why am I here? Why do I deserve this? Like, what did I do to get here? Just what? Because I have a little bit of an interesting story that wasn't even mine necessarily, that it was my family's. So then I just started to doubt myself, but then I continued to push through. And then my senior year, I was like, hey, let's get this podcast going. And this is when I flipped the decision to move from being a marriage and family therapist, which I was fully on track to do, to then changing to fully dedicating my career and my life to film. And it all started because of a UCLA networking night I went to on Zoom, because it was kind of still during COVID. They were like, had some classes online, but there was a peak. And so I went on Zoom and I met this one guy, and he was talking about being a producer. And in that moment, I was like, this is it. This is my life. This is what I want to give my life to. And so the next day I changed everything. I reached out to one of my best friend's brothers who worked for a tiny travel influencer. And I worked there during the summer. And then my senior year, I still didn't feel like I deserved that, because the industry, people want to get in the industry when they're 5, 10. Like, I knew I wanted to be an actor when I was in middle school. Like, I knew I wanted to be a director when I was in high school. Like, I always just felt like I was pretending. And I still even feel that to a degree. And so now I'm restarting this podcast, not restarting, I should say, like continuing on with this podcast, because I finally feel like I've gotten the footing in my life that, no, I'm meant to be here and I'm not an imposter. And like, the love I have for myself has grown so much. And growing up, I think that I always felt like I beat, like I always say, I've said this to a million people, I've said this on the podcast a million times, that I beat just one step away. And I always feel like I was out of the loop. And I always just felt like I was in Claire's world. And I had a big family. I had 4 siblings. And so to be heard in my family, you had to be loud, or you had to be aggressive to say something, because there was just so many of us. And so I always feel like I always was trying to find my voice. And then I started this, and I feel like I had a voice, and I feel like I was no longer pretending. And so that's why I'm coming back again. And that's why I'm taking the time to speak to you, because there's more love in me than I've had before. And during my first episode, I said I love myself just as much as I hate myself. So 50% of myself, oh, why does it make me emotional? Because 50% of myself hated myself. I hated the way I talked. I hated the way I showed up to things. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I dressed. And that, it makes me sad for my past self. Oh, it makes me sad. It makes me sad. You shouldn't hate yourself because that shit's sad. I don't know. It makes me sad. And I don't feel that way anymore. Like, I found my footing. I found my friends. I've found my space. And that's why I'm coming back at it stronger and with a bigger voice. And that is the goal of this podcast. Because when you start out in this industry, you're treated like dirt. So you feel like you're not important. You feel like you're not part of the mix. And you have to every day come at it every day and tell yourself, you got it. Go for it. You got it. Go for it. There's a reason I'm here. There's a reason I'm in it. There's a reason I'm showing up every day. And that's why I want people at the beginning, entry-level jobs on this podcast, because they do have something to say and they do have something to share. And most of the people I know are working on their short films on the side, or have a side project, or have something going on. Brendan, who's helping me with the set and all these cameras that I'm using and all the other like creative direction, he's getting married. Like, he has a full-on wedding that he's planning. And Eli, he has a full-time job during the week. He's editing. Eli, shout out. Hey-o. I'm actually looking at them to my left. So every single person wants it so badly, but doesn't have the space to speak about it. And that's what I'm doing here today. Like, I'm giving people the space to speak, and I now love myself more, and I don't hate myself the 50% that I used to. I don't look at the world like, oh, Claire, you don't deserve this, or oh, Claire, like, why are you saying that? Like, I'm finally like, oh, Claire, like, you're doing it. You're showing up. You had a dream. You completely switched your career. Now you're in it, and you're working at a good company, and you're creating good friends. And like, I just think back to the 12-year-old Claire and me who didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I'm like, I'm doing it for you. Like, I'm doing it for the girl who would film little short films. God damn, talking about your younger self will get you emotional. My heart hurts right now, but I'm doing it for the kid that would make the little short films on her iPad, and make my sister film like music videos in the hallway, and like make my siblings get on everything that I was making, because I was like, I want to do it. And then when I changed, my family was like, okay, like, we got you. We support you. We're here for you. And I think that's another thing I've learned. A support system is so important. People who love you and admire you and see what you're trying to do is also so important, because there's a lot of people in this industry that will try to take something from you, whether that's the way you make them feel, or like the things you say, or what you want. People kind of want to take that from you. But because I have more self-love, I don't give it as freely. I used to be such a people pleaser. I would put people in front of me. I would not put Claire first. I would let them direct the way I was going through my day. Like, oh, you want something from me? I'll show up. Or you want me to be there? I'll show up. Even though I had no energy left in the tank. Even though I had nothing to give. But, oh, because you like me and you make me feel a certain way, I'll be there for you. And through this journey of self-love and self-discovery, I guess this is what this episode is about. Self-love, baby. I started putting Claire first. And I literally had my mom explain to me, what does that mean to put yourself first? And she's like, Claire, what do you mean by that? And I was like, what do you mean putting yourself first? I genuinely don't understand that. So I genuinely had to have my mom sound it out to me and tell me what it was to put myself first, because I didn't know what that was like. And I'm just learning that within the past year. I had genuinely no idea how to do that before. I had no idea how to put my needs first, how to put my health first, mental, physical, like hanging out with friends, social. And I'm learning that now. And because of the support system that I've built for myself, I genuinely don't think I would be even close to where I am today, because I would be crumbling. Like, I'm prone to anxiety. Like, I have this very open, genuine personality, but I'm prone to depression. Like, I could slip into that easily. Like, I could slip into the anxiety easily. I could slip into the self-hatred easily. And I'm going out every day, like mitigating that and trying to figure out ways to not let myself get into those mindsets so then I can show up every day as the person I want to be. And so this podcast is more to me than just a guest in a chair. You know, this experience feels freeing to me because I'm giving a voice to the person inside of me that I've kept small, that I've kept hidden, and that I've kept guarded. And I feel like that part of me is coming out. It feels like it's a little flower sprouting inside of me and rising to the surface. Because I guess in the past, I was just riddled with negativity. And you would never know it though. Like you would never know it when you talked to me or came up to me or hung out with me. You would truly never know it. And so when I share this with people, it's always surprising of like, what? It's like my mom always raised me on the notion, you never know what's happening inside someone's mind. Like you never know what's happening behind closed doors. Like you never know what someone's going through. And I think giving a voice to the child in me where I'm just having fun on a playground, like that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm like at a playground and hanging out with my friends and we're just like yapping. And I feel like little Claire is like just running around. And I feel like I had to grow up so quickly because of my upbringing, and I had to become so mature so quickly, and I had to be able to speak and hold myself and know how to walk in a room and have confidence even if I didn't feel it. And I always felt like I was playing like a tennis match just against myself, and the other side was always winning. But now it doesn't feel that way. It feels like I'm finally winning, but against myself. Like my biggest critic in my life and the person I get the most validation from is myself. No one else. Like if you tell me I'm killing it, thank you. If you tell me I'm this, thank you. Like I appreciate it. But if I'm telling myself that, oh my God, it's like truly the greatest gift, because the person I want it most from is me. Like who I want to hear telling me I did a good job is Claire. Who I want to hear is like, you're killing it, is Claire. And I feel like for so long that voice was muted. That voice was so quiet and I didn't hear it at all. And so the whole time it was like the negative stuff, the imposter syndrome. You're not supposed to be doing this. Everyone started this at a younger age than you. You don't even know what you're doing. Like blah, 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 blah. And so when I finally started to get into the journey of self-love and I found that voice within me, and where I finally started hearing that tiny thing in the back of my head being like, you got it. You got it. And as the years tick by, it's getting louder. You got it. You got it. And I think that's just the greatest gift you could give yourself, and the greatest gift I've given myself. And it hasn't been easy. It's been, God, the journey of self-love is fucking brutal. It's brutal. It's the countless conversations with my friend Kate, kudos, Kate, the countless conversations with my mom, the countless conversations with the people around me. Like, how do you do this? How do you do this? Like, how does this affect you? How to react to my emotions I'm a highly emotional person. And so my reactions sometimes get the best of me, like how to keep myself neutral and how to keep myself level. And all that chaos inside of me was playing into when I first started this podcast. And that's why I took a break. I took a break because I thought that it wasn't good enough, or I thought that it wasn't enough. That's what it is, enough. And now when I was at work and one of my coworkers, Nicole, was like, Claire, I think that your podcast would be great. And then Brendan at work, hey, I would love to work on that. I enjoy working on your podcast. And now Eli's on board, and my friend Matt, who used to edit in the past, and all the guests used to be on it in the past, and Brian used to do my videos on Instagram. Like all these people who are kind of propelling me forward and helping me and like holding me as I go through this journey. And that has been so beautiful. And that's why I want to take it into the current state and bring guests on. And that's why I feel like it'd be so much more impactful and beneficial, because I'm coming at it with so much love, and I'm bringing that energy into this space that I know that's going to be felt from all the guests I have on. And I know they're going to feel safe to share their stories and tell you what it took to get into this industry and why they're staying in it and why they're dealing with the $21 an hour and 10-hour days and the weekend work. Like, the why behind it is so important. And I think that gets muddled and blurred because all we see is the executive with the $1 million home in Beverly Hills, the sexiness of the industry, the Hollywoodness of the industry, the glitz, the glam. Like, that is not the reality of it. The reality of it is this. I'm in my apartment. I flipped it up on my head. Like, we have the setup right here, but my apartment to the left of me is a mess. And in front of me is a mess because what we have to do, we just set up the set in my apartment in Los Angeles. And we had to do it this way. Because that's what you do for the things you love. And it's not the glitz and the glam. It's not the show you see from the top 1%. It's us. It's the assistants. We're the future. We're the people who are going to have the voice in 10 years from now. We're the people who are going to making the films in 10 years from now. So I want to give them a voice now to empower them to know that they're important and that they're seen and that they're appreciated. And now I'm coming at it with, like, I'm important. I'm appreciated. I'm loved. Because it's not the people at the top that make this industry run. It's the people at the bottom. And the people at the bottom are treated the worst. And I don't think that's fair. And that's not, I'm not going to do some crazy, like, broad stroke statement of, oh, companies suck and they all get treated poorly. That's not the truth, nor the reality. But the reality of it is, yeah, it is brutal at the beginning. And there is so much competition. The amount of people that I'm hearing, like, oh, I can't get a job here, I've got laid off here, I tried again here, and I had to bombard the HR woman a million times just to get an interview for the first time. Like, it is not easy. My God, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It is so insanely hard. But you'll be hearing from the people who did it, who got in, who beat down the door, who are inside now and are in the party. Now we just got to figure out how to grow. So Barely Scraping By is coming back with more love, more intention, and just a greater vision. Because now I understand that, yes, I do have a vision that I could bring to the table, and I do have a voice I can bring to the table, and I do have people that have something to say. And because of that, and through this journey, and the small town ranch girl that I just feel like I am at my core, grew up in the middle of nowhere, and I just feel like I was just like this hidden little being down the canyon where I grew up. I was like this kid, the street was called the Canyon, so felt like I was just hidden in the back of the canyon, and I was just trying to get out. And now that I'm out and I'm in this world of LA, and it makes me feel so free, and my identity feels so accepted, I'm bringing all of that into this space, and just so excited to be here and continue on this journey. And Barely Scraping By is just getting its feet wet. And so we have a future to continue on with and plenty of people to talk with and connect with. And I'm excited to be on journey with you guys. So for that, I say thank you. Sending my love always. And life is sweet.
Barely Scraping By.